Welcome back to Retail Therapy. My name's Will DeFries. Barrett, today could possibly be our first ever boiler room recording of Retail Therapy.
Wow. Okay. How do you meet?
Well, we have a full-blown sound check for a rap concert going on pretty much next door.
That is true.
It kind of feels like we're in the mix.
Okay. Yeah. Like maybe that's like Fred again over there.
Yeah,
you know,
it could be.
And he's just ripping it.
It could be.
Honest to God, when I pulled up into the to the stew today and the sound check was happening, he sounded his flow, his bars sounded just like Lil Dicky. And like there's an episode of Dave where like they're sound checking and Dave's getting ready to like rap, and I was like, wait, are they recording an episode of Dave? So I had to walk over to the fence and like peek through just to make sure it wasn't Dave Bird, aka Lil Dicky, over there shooting an Austin scene for Dave. No, it was not. No,
if he was shooting an Austin scene for Dave, and I didn't know you were a Dave guy.
Oh God, I'm a huge Dave guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they were doing a scene here and Randy and I weren't there as extras, it would have been a little upsetting because that's something I would maybe show out for.
Yeah, I'd be very upset by that.
Lil Dicky is one of the he's probably the single nicest celebrity I've ever met in my entire life.
Where did you meet Lil Dicky?
We met him on the EDM cruise that we went on at a former company of ours.
Okay.
And he was on there, but he wasn't very big at that point. So he did like literally the first show on like one of the days, which obviously if you're not that big, you're going to be early on.
Right.
But you know, most of the talent didn't stay on the cruise. He stayed the entire time. Like he was on the cruise the entire time.
That was in his contract. He was like, yeah, but I want to stay on the cruise. I want to do the cruise.
Like the Chainsmokers like flew in, did their performance, got on a boat, got flown out. No, Lil Dicky like got on with everybody, sat like did the boat, was just at like restaurants, hanging out, just going to bars. Like, but he seemed like the most nice, well-adjusted, normal guy.
Very cool.
Maybe well-adjusted's not the word after seeing the things that have come out of his brain for Dave.
Yeah.
But if you guys hear a little bass in the background, embrace it.
Embrace
it. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Randy doesn't think we can hear it, but it's definitely prevalent in the studio. How's it going, Barrett?
It's going all right. It feels like we have not recorded in a month.
Mm-hmm.
Is that might be accurate?
July 5th. So it's been 2 weeks.
Okay. All right. That's when our most recent episode dropped. Is that what you're?
No, we recorded on July 5th.
We recorded on July 5th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember, Will made us all come in right after the 4th of July.
Everyone knows that if I had it my way, whatever the week of the 4th of July is, everyone gets that off. That's how I feel about just 4th of July in general.
Well, I mean, you know, I personally prevent. What was the word I was looking for? Not prevent. Appreciate. That's the one. Both of you being grind boys and coming in on the 5th of July.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just got to put in a little extra work.
Well, being that I was going out of town for a full week after, I was like, well, I guess I can work like one day between the 4th of July and, you know, the following week.
Yeah. And I didn't really have any plans, so it's fine.
Barrett, can I ask you a question I didn't prepare you for, but something I've been wondering about?
Please.
What do you think your most worn articles of clothing have been this summer?
So, okay, I'm glad you asked. I don't know, because I was thinking about either doing a little Substack write-up or a reel or something highlighting like my best buys of the summer.
Yeah, because I was thinking about this driving in today, and I was like, what? Like it's pretty much midsummer at this point. We're a little past. Like I think of summer as June 1st to Labor Day, and so we're halfway through July. Like I was trying to think of what the things that I have are that it would be considered that, and I was like, I bet Barrett's got some stuff.
Yeah. So
actually, I'm putting this in here.
I think my favorite pickup of the summer and not that I've like lived in them, but I have worn them a bunch, and definitely one of my favorite things that I grabbed is a pair of shorts from Imogene and Willie.
Okay.
These were
I get marketed their stuff all the time, and I always get interested.
These were not on my radar at all, but like I popped into the shop over Memorial Day when they were like running a little sale and just like try these on, and I loved the color. I think I actually got to show these off a little bit on one of Dylan's live streams, where I think we have some crossover fans because people wanted to get a fit check.
Oh yeah,
and
I get it.
These fit me not quite as tailored as the model here. I took my regular size, and they are they're much closer to like that Bodhi shape that we've talked about, which is kind of like a little A kind of.
I've found myself sizing down
a little
more.
blousey.
When it comes to shorts, I find myself sizing down more than sizing up because I don't want that like blousiness.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a little waist tightness than giant shorts on.
But I liked the blousiness. It's kind of what I like about them. The Imogene and Willie lounge short and the color poppy. It just, I don't know, this kind of like orangey red. It's firing, man. And I'm super into these little random kind of pickup.
Shorts have still been escaping me all summer.
Yeah.
I haven't really bought very many or anything, but like I just haven't upgraded much. Like I'm wearing some Patagonia shorts I got on eBay right now. And like I don't even like them that much, but they're a great like, oh, I'm not seeing anyone important today. I can just like toss these on and call it a day. I don't know.
What about you? Anything come to mind?
No, I mean, let me think. Like the shirts that I've been living in are those Rowan t-shirts.
Yeah.
I've been like, if those are all, I have 3 of them now. If they're all dirty, I look forward to doing laundry so that I can have them all clean again because it's just a great shirt to wear around the house in the heat, doing whatever. I've been living in gym shorts pretty much. And like, I think I called them out on Scaries recently. But Cadets shorts, they're just like gym shorts that they're just like shorter, more like trim. They're just kind of like almost like more European cut feeling.
Right.
So if you are averse to like short shorts, it's probably not for you. But like they're just really nice. And for doing dad stuff and just like running errands, everything, I've got like 4 of these shorts now, and I've just been wearing them all the time. And those have really those have emerged as a sneaky favorite this summer that like wouldn't jump to mind normally if I was thinking about like my favorite things to wear, just because I wear them for errands and dad stuff as opposed to like going out and doing things. But like now that I'm just doing errands and dad stuff all the time, that's pretty much what I'm dialed into.
Are you matching with your sons?
I'm not,
because I see that they offer.
So that's how I discovered them, because people recommended them
shorts
for kids,
for boys as well.
And so Fritz does have a couple pairs of these, but it's a little difficult to justify the price tag for shorts that my son's going to grow out of. The reason I got them was because I knew I would have another son that I could just transfer him to eventually.
True.
But they're really nice.
I'll tell you what. I keep seeing this word come up on shops for both men and women. There are these new sections called family matching, and this is something that I think the parents they're hot for these days. Is buying matching clothing so that they can dress just like their kids.
Something I never anticipated like getting so much joy out of is now my son is old enough to go pick out his own clothes. And a lot of days he will go, and I don't know if he's doing it intentionally or if he thinks that's what he's supposed to be doing or what, but he will see what I'm wearing, go in the room, and then pick out things that look very similar to me.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is the cutest thing in the world. And then I also found that when I dress him, I will put on my own clothes for the day. And then without thinking about it, I will go grab his clothes. And then I'll look at him and be like, oh, we're not matching, but we at least look like we are father and son in the way that we're dressing right now. Like similar color scheme, both wearing shorts or both wearing pants, whatever. And it's just like, it's funny to me that like, I actually have influence on this little kid. And now now I feel the power. I'm just going to start dressing him.
What is the number one destination for you for children's clothing?
I don't know how this answer is going to go over, but Zara.
Okay.
They have really good staples. They have good collections of designs with like kid stuff on it that you don't necessarily always want, like Spider-Man, but they have designs that make it look a little more like artistic or cool looking. And so it's not like just like a straight up Spider-Man, like in your face shirt, but some of the stuff on there is ridiculously priced just because it's like, why do I need a knit shirt for my son? But like the t-shirts, shorts and stuff like that, they're all really good. And to be honest, they're a little big. So whenever they arrive, I'm just like, well, you're in a baggy phase for the next few months.
Dude, he's got that oversized drip.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And now that he's done, and then now when he grows into it, it's perfect.
These sunglasses, this is another big pickup for me this summer. These are Garrett lights. I put these on my wish list at one point, and
congrats on the cop.
They're still 43% off on the Essence sale right now. So, it's a nice little pickup.
43% off is pretty good. The sunglasses I've been wearing the most of this summer, I have 2 pairs. One is a Garrett Light pair that I bought 2 years ago that I somehow have not lost yet, and they're just probably my favorite sunglasses of all time. But I knew that I needed to mix in some new ones, and so I went with some tortoise ones from Crew. Went to the South Congress place and picked out that pair, and I don't know. I've become a sunglasses person through and through at this point. For so long in my life, until I moved to Austin, I didn't wear sunglasses all that much. I feel like the sun wasn't as harsh. Like I wasn't squinting as much, or like it was just harder to drive. It's harder to drive down here without them on.
Have you heard that wearing sunglasses is actually what makes you sunburn?
No.
Yeah.
Because you don't realize the heat?
That's what somebody told me.
Because you don't realize the heat? Like what? Why?
Yeah, because it like does like if you this is, by the way, I am half joking here. I'm not joking about the fact that somebody did tell me this. A friend told me this, but some of the thinking goes that if you're not wearing sunglasses, your eyes and your body like understand that the sun is beating down and like adapts to, you have
a fight or flight reaction to
or
it?
something, and it's like, oh, I gotta gird my melanin or whatever.
I was told for the first time in Texas that, if you don't wear sunglasses, it's like your skin, like you'll wear it down and you'll deteriorate it.
You can, I think that's certainly a drawback, is that you can damage your eyes by not wearing sunglasses.
And that's something I never realized. But it makes all the sense in the world. And unfortunately, the time that I need to wear sunglasses the most when I'm outside the most is playing golf. And I can't play golf with sunglasses on.
I don't like playing golf with sunglasses on either.
And there's also the component that you look like really cool when wearing sunglasses. So
it's true.
You don't want to damage your image by not wearing sunglasses.
Yeah. Randy Trimbacki, ladies and gentlemen, of the New York Times.
I still need to buy the article.
Yes, Randy.
What do you mean buy the article?
So you can buy pages of the New York Times.
Okay.
They will reprint it for you, and you can buy it framed. You can just buy it. I think you can just buy it in a poster form.
That's cool.
And so I enlightened Randy to this because I think he needed to do it. And I also knew that Randy did not go out and get a copy the day that it released.
Sad.
I didn't even know they released until
That's tough, yeah.
Yeah. Happens.
That's why you need Google Alerts set up for your name, Randy.
That's
you have
true.
to set it up just for your name, just in case. There's not that many Randy Trimbackis out there.
I would only say there's probably one.
But there's an article from the early 90s about Sunday Scaries, essentially. It doesn't use the phrase Sunday Scaries, but it's like the first ever article that's kind of like about the idea, or first mainstream article about feeling blah on Sundays. And I have had it bookmarked for years now, and I'm eventually going to get it done and framed. I just am too lazy. It's not that expensive to do. It's actually one of the cheapest way to get something framed at this point, I think. Oh, hey, let's get some announcements out of the way. Retailpod.substack.com. Please go subscribe to that newsletter. The hats will be releasing from that very, very soon, so keep an eye out there. If you want to watch these episodes, youtube.com/Sunday Scaries podcast. Go subscribe there as well. We put a lot on the screen. We've already put stuff on the screen today.
Many things on the screen, indeed.
At
Yes.
retail.pod on Instagram. Give that a follow. As always, velobox.com/Sunday Scaries has everything for your scented candle needs. I think there's even some on sale right now. We do have some in stock, if I'm not mistaken, of the retail therapy candle.
I believe that's correct.
Yes. Yeah. So go support the podcast by going to velobox.com/Sunday Scaries. Check out our candle. We also have finally, I don't say finally in we've been laboring over it forever, but we have established a new scent for the retail therapy boys that we'll be releasing later. Look forward to that.
I don't want you to say any of them, but have you been percolating on any name ideas?
I have been keeping it at an arm's distance.
Okay.
Just because the one that defaults to my brain is not one we can use.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to let it come to me. I don't want it to be too wordy, but I also want it to be targeted and kind of, cheeky.
Maybe when we get some testers in,
yeah.
it'll just.
We might just need to sit down and start sniffing.
Yeah.
You guys haven't said it in a while, but shifting vibes is just a good. It's a good name for a candle.
It's true.
This one is so specific, though.
Yeah. It needs a specific name.
I think it needs a specific name.
It needs a specific name.
Yeah.
Can we talk travel?
Let's talk travel.
This was on our rundown for the last episode that we did, and it's just something that I think we should talk about because we're both kind of confronting this right now. A text conversation has even transpired between me, Barrett, and our partners regarding this, and it's just essentially packing tips from stylists, editors, comedians, and more from Nylon. And it asks a lot of questions that not only do I want to know the answers from Barrett on, but I also think we need to discuss our strategies going into, we're each going to Europe next month. And I think we need to discuss our strategies here because I want to know where you land. I'm worried about you, if I'm being honest, Barrett.
You should be worried about me. I'm now. Look, I'm going into this with the best of intentions, and that is to carry on. That is to carry on only. This may require the purchase of a new bag, TBD on that.
Okay. I am also perhaps. Ooh, we just had something happen live on the podcast. The final burn of the long weekend scented candle in front of me. Or one of the wicks just went out. There are famously 2 wicks on those candles right now.
Wow, that's big.
Sorry, it just rattled me.
Live on the podcast.
I'm also thinking about getting a new. I have an Away that's just kind of beat up right now. I always thought the Away that I have, even the beat up one, I thought this is serving every purpose I need. And then I used Sally's new suitcase last time we traveled, and it had all these little pockets and zippers and compartments. And I was like, oh, the game is somewhat changed since 2017.
She's writing for
Bays, I think it's called. BEIS is what she got. She got their carry-on. It's a very nice carry-on. I don't know how much it cost. I don't know anything about that, but I will say it's the nicest carry-on I've ever used. Okay, for sure.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say that you're just like going for the ALD Remova.
No, good work, Randy. That was very quick. No. As I said before, luggage money is something that I have yet to have, and I don't know if I will ever get there.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'll be good with the base.
Okay, so yes, I'm intending to carry on only. Can I just jump right to my biggest issue right now?
Yes.
The biggest issue for me is 100% it's going to be shoes. It's going to be figuring out the shoe game.
Yeah.
So I might even do like a little sticker on our IG at retail.pod and ask our listeners for some recs. But like, what's the go-to walking around all day shoe in Europe? Because here's the thing, like I'm not putting on a pair of Asics or Nikes. That's not happening. This is like, I don't know if you've seen this, but where I'm headed to, not where you're headed to, but where I'm headed to, there's protesters out there. There's protesters. They're mad at the tourists. They're mad. So I am not identifying myself as a tourist by like slapping on some bright pair of Nikes.
Have you started workshopping a vaguely European accent yet to talk to these people with?
No, I mean, I at least I'm like sort of knowledgeable in Espanol. Although I think the Catalan version of it is definitely different than Cabo San Lucas version of it. So
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Are you worried about packing the shoes? Like, how are you going to pack them? Or are you worried about which shoes to bring over there?
Which shoes to bring over there? Because I'm trying to work right? Because like you obviously need your day-to-day shoe that you're going to be putting a lot of steps in.
Yeah.
I think I know what my like nighttime shoe will be.
Yeah.
And then you got to have a pair of sandals. You got to have some sandals.
See, I kind of messed up on my last trip when I packed for shoes.
So that's three pairs of shoes already.
When we did our honeymoon in Italy, I packed my Belgian loafers for nice dinners. I wore them to every dinner, and I also wore them if we were doing like a nice lunch and kind of just worked them in. You're in Europe, why not? And then I packed a pair of Nikes that I wore a decent amount to travel and go around. The reason I did that was because of comfort and because they were the bulkiest shoes that I brought, and I didn't want them taking up room in our suitcase because we also just carried on, and we're intending to only carry on for 10 days this next time. And so from there, I also packed just a pair of Sabas as shoes that I could just like put on to go out in, to wear to the pool and things like that. I didn't even pack any sandals. I wish I had.
Okay, so you went Sabas as like your pool sandal.
Yes, and I should clarify that the Sabas that I brought as my pool shoe they're so beat up that like I wasn't doing anything bad to them that hadn't already been done.
See, I know some people use like suede Birkenstock Arizonas as a pool shoe.
Yeah,
this weirds me out, but I'm considering it because it seems like a very versatile play.
Yeah, I mean, actually a sneaky shout out to something I've been wearing a ton of this summer has been the rubber Birkenstock.
Okay,
I've been wearing my black ones all the time. I actually don't like the black color of them, but that's what I bought, and want to return them, and I just have been wearing them. But functionally, they've been phenomenal for me.
Yeah, I've got a pair of the EVA Arizonas as well, which I really, really like. That's my current like go-to pool shoe. The problem is they don't pack very well.
No, they're bulky.
They're bulky.
Yeah, they're bulky.
Yeah.
They're bulky. So what I did when we packed and we were doing only carry-on for an extended period of time was that I took all my shoes and I shoved them in the bottom of my backpack. I don't have my backpack on my back all that much when we're traveling, especially the carry-on, because I'm just putting it on top of the carry-on.
Yeah.
So if it's an annoying backpack situation, it's not that annoying. So I would put all that in there just to make sure that the suitcase had enough room for all my clothes, toiletries, everything like that. And I just didn't want to deviate from that. And so the entire bottom half of my backpack was just shoes shoved in, and then a bulky sweatshirt on top of it that I didn't want to take up room with either.
Yeah.
And outside of that, it was like, well, what can you fit in your backpack?
Right.
An iPad, a laptop, headphones. That's the only big things you can fit in there at that point.
Yeah.
But that's all I needed. Like having all the shoes was nice enough to free up all that space and do that. Oh, it's exhausting to just carry on, but it was so worth it for us that I think we're just pot committed at this point.
Before we get into some of these questions, let me tell you what I'm super bummed about. And maybe we just have somebody in the State Department that can help us out, help me out in particular here. I used to have global entry, had it for quite a while.
Okay.
Well, 5 years. That's how long it lasts. And then I let it lapse because I just frankly wasn't doing very much international travel.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it earlier this year when we were booking this trip, and I was like, oh, I should renew my global entry. And my application has now just been sitting in limbo for months.
Really?
And it's not going to, and like my renewal is definitely not going to happen in time.
Oh, that's brutal.
And I'm coming back is going to be a rough, like it's honestly the number one reason why
Where are you flying back into?
Why I'm committing to the carry-on.
Yeah.
Is because you got to race your ass to that line.
Are you talking, you're flying into Austin?
But you'll hit customs and immigration on your first city back, which will be Atlanta for us.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Just carrying on, it will be your only saving grace.
Yeah.
Like,
like if you have to stand there and wait for your bag before
you can just freeze by everybody.
Yeah, you're toast.
Yeah. It's almost essential.
Yeah.
If you want to travel quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's my like. I'm super bummed, and I thought that the global entry, I thought it would be quick because I'm already approved. This is a renewal,
Just go into the airport and be like, hey, can you just interview me? Just figure this out. I mean, I had a little mini my heart skipped a beat when I was looking at my passport because I saw a date that was much closer to now than I thought it was going to be, and luckily I had the realization that this would be the final international trip that I can take with this passport. And then I have to go get a new one.
Yeah.
Like there's no questions asked.
But just talking about things that are luxurious. I think somebody even mentions it in this Nylon article, like breezing through global entry while the GP waits in line. that's luxury right there.
Global entry is great.
You can have your Rimowa suitcases and your
Oh yeah. The ultimate luxury is traveling quickly.
You're fancy everything, but yeah.
But if you're someone who doesn't have either, you should just it's not that much more to get global entry than it is just to get TSA pre-check, and you get TSA pre-check if you do.
It is the same price.
Yeah,
it's global entry is $100.
So just get global entry and you'll have TSA pre-check. Don't just get TSA pre-check, because if you get global entry, it's going to make your life easier in the long run. Yeah. So you might as well just pony up a little extra and just do it.
I think it's like 100 versus 80 maybe for TSA pre-check.
It's hardly any different, and it's just so much better. Should we rapid fire these questions?
Okay, let's go.
Okay, first one. And I selected these from the article that we are reading from Nylon. I selected these questions because I thought they were the most retail therapy driven. Okay, what's one thing you can pack that makes even the worst flight tolerable?
Okay, this is I saw somebody with one of these on the plane once, and I was like, holy shit, that's amazing. And then I bought one, and it's pretty sweet. This is especially for domestic travel. International, maybe this is not so useful, but this is a little like thing that holds your phone and clips on to either the seat back in front of you, or you can put your table down and you can clip this thing on so that it like raises up your phone and holds it.
Oh yeah.
But it allows you to put your phone at like the right viewing distance, because even if you have like a little kickstand and you put it like here, you're still like craning your neck to like look down, right? This thing like elevates it so that you're just like, it's like watching TV. And I am somebody that does not own an iPad.
I was going to say, I'm surprised you don't have an iPad that you watch on.
Yeah. Look, I clearly am okay with spending money on lots of different things. I cannot bring myself to pay $800 for an iPad. I just can't do it.
I get it.
I can't do it.
I mean, I can't either. And the iPad,
it would be for one use, and that is watching stuff on planes. That's it.
The iPad that I bought, I didn't want to buy a regular priced one, so I bought like an old generation one refurbished, and I use it all the time. I didn't think I'd use it as much as I do.
You use it at home?
I use it at home. I do a lot of private viewing at home now, so I will just watch on my iPad with like headphones on, as opposed to watching stuff with Sally in bed and like watching it together. She'll go to bed earlier than me, so I'll just sit there like locked. I'll just turn myself into an iPad kid for a little bit.
Okay.
But I only my one stipulation for the iPad is that nothing is allowed on it besides pure entertainment. I don't care how you're getting entertained, but it cannot be social media.
Okay.
It cannot be. Essentially, it just has to either be a reading app or a streaming service.
Okay.
But I want it to be an entertainment hub, not a place to like go scroll and do that kind of thing.
Okay.
So that's how I operate. Dude, I kind of need one of these.
Yeah. So this is, really specifically, like if you don't travel with an iPad and you're watching stuff on your phone, which is what I typically do, this was a definite game changer for me.
My answer is simple, and it's not a sexy one. It's noise canceling headphones.
Okay.
As long as I have noise canceling headphones, I can be pretty happy on a flight. I can just shut my eyes, listen to music, enjoy myself.
Now,
but I don't even need to play anything. It's just having the silence.
Yeah. Noise canceling. So I have a pair of AirPod Pros, which noise cancel, and it makes a huge difference. It really does. But speaking of things that I would spend money on, I would spend money on a really nice pair of like over-ear ones. I'm just, I'm kind of lost on what to get, and I don't always find over-ear comfortable.
Yeah.
So that, kind of.
Well, you should have come in the office the other day. Because I've justified buying 2 pairs of headphones, over-ear headphones, because I am part owner of a podcast company. So I've been like, well, I own a...
Yeah.
And so
it's a write-off.
I have the Bose Quiet Comforts and the AirPod Max, and my sister-in-law on Prime Day was trying to figure out which ones she wanted. So we did a little side-by-side in the office. She ended up going with the Bose.
Okay.
Lighter.
Yeah.
More comfortable ear.
Yeah.
Thing. And yeah.
And she was, not as concerned with like swag. Basically.
She was concerned with swag, but she was more concerned with functionality than swag.
That's smart.
But the swag was something that she was concerned about. Barrett, which 3 clothing items always make it on your packing list, and why? You're not allowed to say underwear.
Yeah. So I thought about when I read this question, that my immediate answer was that I don't have something that always makes it with me. Like I think I've talked about my process before, but I have to put on every single outfit that I'm going to wear on a trip.
That's unnecessary.
I put it on. When I am packing, I need to see it all together. So I have to put everything on.
Do you ask Laura what she thinks of every outfit?
No, only ones that I need a second opinion on.
See, I will be totally done packing, and I will be sitting in bed downloading everything to my iPad. And Sally will be in the mirror in front of me trying on every single thing, saying, "What do you think of this?" It's great. It's great. Like I don't. It's that looks great.
I got to see it all together. Yeah. So my outfits are like very specific. I don't have like a, that necessarily that like one go-to thing really that like always comes with me. I don't have like a specific sweatshirt that I always pack. Like
I have a specific thing. Like I will always pack a crew neck sweatshirt in my bag, in my backpack.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is just something that I always will want. If I'm in a hotel room and it's cold, I'd rather put on a sweatshirt than turn it up. Like,
so I get one thing that I will say. We've kind of already had this conversation, but no matter where I'm going, I will be packing a pair of slip-on shoes or loafers. There's nothing worse, and I've done this before, and it's awful. Nothing worse than bringing only like tie-up shoes or like real shoes, and then being in the hotel room and like needing to go get ice or needing to like run down to the front desk for something, and you got to look and you don't have anything to slip on.
Yeah,
absolute worst. Can't stand it.
Yeah.
So it's something that I can slide into, whether that's like if I know I'm not going to need sandals, and maybe it's like Birk Bostons, but I got to have something that's just like that's just like slip on and go for for hotel.
The 3 things that I always pack a plain gray t-shirt, if not 3. Like, it's just because I know I can wear it to anything. I know it's like, if I need to wear it in a situation where I didn't bring something dressy enough, it's like, well, this t-shirt will pass better than like a t-shirt with anything on it or something like edgy. I just try to bring as generic of like a t-shirt just to like wear randomly.
Yeah.
I also now I've been wearing the same pair of like cream colored kind of jean-ish pants, and like just having a plain light colored pair of pants has always served me well. I don't know why I gravitate to that, but I just do. The other thing I have on here is not even it's not a clothing item, so I'm going off script. It's the Styptic pen for nicks on your neck or trimming up my beard, whatever. But traveling with one of those has saved me so many times from bleeding in a hotel room onto a nice shirt while I'm getting ready for a wedding. If you ever shave your neck before a wedding and you nick it and it's like, well, cool, I get to put on a crisp white clean shirt in the next 5 minutes. How am I going to stop this from bleeding everywhere? Just traveling with one of those. If I don't have one, I will, if it's midnight and my flight is at 6 a.m., I will still drive to CVS and try to get one because it's like, no, I have to have this. And people hotels don't stock them. Usually like hotels will have toothpaste and like whatever you need for not whatever you need, but like the staples in the bathroom. Styptic pens are just not something that like people use anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the t-shirt one is I pack similarly with that in mind. Like you almost always have like a light colored or white t-shirt for every trip. Goes under a flannel, looks good on its own. Like that's an obvious versatile
I've started re-wearing t-shirts on vacation. I've started because I used to just be like, oh, I can only wear it once and it's going to smell, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
No, just lay it out.
Hang it up.
Exactly.
Put it in the...
It has saved me so much to just be like, no, there's at least 2 wears in every one of these shirts.
Like 100
I don't know why I didn't operate like that for so long.
Yeah.
What's your go-to travel outfit?
My go-to travel outfit is... I like to wear like a pair of, if it's a short flight, I'll go jeans. For a longer flight, I like to be in something a little bit more comfortable. I have 2 pairs of like Nike ACG pants that have been my kind of go-to.
That's a good idea.
Travel pant, just because they both have, they're light, they're breezy, so I'm not like, I don't feel exposed in shorts, but they're not hot either.
That's a good idea.
They've got good pockets. So that's usually my pair of pants. Love a Solomon sneaker. Because the lacing system is basically just that pull on, pull off.
Yep.
So that's nice.
Oh, that's nice. If you have to take off your shoes in security, that's a great thing to have.
Yeah. Yeah. And then t-shirt, and then maybe you mentioned the sweatshirt. If it's like super hot and I'm going somewhere also hot, and it's then I'm not messing with that.
Yeah.
But for a long flight, or if you're going somewhere cooler, or if it's just kind of going to be unpredictable, the crew neck is a nice little double. Can double as a pillow. Yeah. Also,
if I'm going somewhere hot,
a little scarf action, maybe like tie it around your neck, that type of thing. Yeah.
If I'm going somewhere hot, the crew neck gets moved out and it gets replaced by a golf quarter zip.
Okay.
It's just at that point, it's just a layer to have my arm not touching this gross part of the plane or something. You know what I mean? Like I just like having that layer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have a go-to anymore. I used to wear Lululemon joggers and sneakers and just put on like t-shirt and like light sweater, and that was what I did. I don't like being in joggers in public anymore, and so I don't wear them. I will say if I'm flying home from somewhere like Las Vegas or something, joggers will make the packing list, and they will be worn to get coffees in the morning as well as on the flight home. But now I just try to dress like I'm going to a decent lunch after I get off the plane.
Okay,
like just slacks, t-shirt.
What if you did Lulu joggers? Pair of On running sneakers.
Now we're cooking.
A t-shirt from Cuts. And an Aloe trucker hat.
Can we put a Patagonia fleece?
That's instead of QZ or crew neck sweatshirt, Patagonia fleece.
Man, my dad outfit for traveling is dad. I am addicted to the Huckberry Merrill sneakers that I have. Yeah. These things have changed the way that I look at sneakers. Like the fact that I got the Tom Sachs sneakers right before I got the Huckberry Merrills, my ratio of wearing is about 1 to 4 in favor of the Merrills.
Really?
They are great shoes. They support my foot so well. The first time I went to the Sphere, I did the entire day in the Nikes. My feet were killing me at the end of the night.
Okay.
Next time I went, I said, I need better shoes. And so I did the Merrells. I was like skipping on the way back to my room. I was like, it was like totally night and day. And it was good realizations that these shoes help, and realizations that I'm old. Like I have to switch out shoes for concerts and stuff. Oh,
what's Sally's go-to travel outfit?
It used to be matching sweatsuit.
Yeah.
Now she goes jeans, sweater, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Moving on to more travel hacks.
Do you have any travel hacks?
I do. I've got a couple. The little travel size Clorox wipes. Gotta have them. Speaking of like things that like will make other people, feel like they wish they were you.
If I'm crying on camera right now, I apologize. I don't know what happened, but my throat got really
long pipe.
My throat got really dry, and then I took a drink of water, and it didn't help at all. I think it made it worse.
Much like breezing by the GP line with your global entry will make you feel like a king or a queen. Also, pulling out the little Clorox wipes and wiping down your seat, belt buckle, tray table in front of you, like all of that stuff.
Can I add to this?
That's a G move. Yeah.
Can I add to this?
Please do.
Ursa Major, who makes like shampoos and stuff like that, they have face wipes, and I got like a free sample pack of them, so I had like 12 in this like sample pack. Putting one of those in there, and when the flight's over, you get off the plane and just hit one of those. It makes me feel like I'm at like 5-star resort.
Okay,
just loving life.
Yeah, I see Sal Gal cooking on planes with like the face routine, and like people suggest stuff like this, and I kind of don't buy it. And I'm just like, I'm gonna feel like shit on the plane. I'm gonna feel like shit afterwards. Like I'm just gonna live with it. But maybe I need to. I should probably test my own theory. I need to give it a shot.
Moisture on the face just feels good for some reason. I have this face mist. It doesn't do anything. But if I get in bed and I think about it and I reach over and grab it and I do it once, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the stuff.
Okay, another little travel hack. I can't tell you how many times I have so one thing I always pack in my toiletry kit is my nail clippers, and I can't tell you how many times I've used those nail clippers to remove the tags from clothing.
Oh, that's a good idea.
They like double as like basically like little scissors.
Yeah.
And it's just like. Also, if you end up with like, what's worse than like ending up with like a little hangnail or a little cuticle that you need taken care of and you don't have anything to take care of it?
We forgot.
So just always bring the nail clippers.
We forgot nail clippers on our vacation last week, and had 2 kids with very long nails that were just scratching their faces while they were sleeping. And it was like, great. This is going well.
Yeah. Bring the nail clippers. Those are the 2 that I really like. I think about when packing, and I'm like, these are 2 things that I got to make sure I do, and that are, I think, solid moves.
Yeah. My hacks I don't really have like any anymore, because I don't like, I've tried to streamline my travel life so much that I don't need like a quick hack for anything.
Yeah.
But like, I used to do this, and I actually think this is a great move if you're going somewhere warm. But my brother-in-law taught me this hack where he would just wear nice gym shorts, like underneath his joggers on flights. And so if they were going somewhere warm, you could just rip the joggers off the second you land, and suddenly you're like in shorts walking off the plane, ready to rip. I was like, hey, I don't want to wear all those layers at this point, but that's actually not the worst idea. It kind of feels like you're in an NBA game, just getting ready to go out and hang. I don't really have many travel hacks when it comes to like anything. I like if we went as far as to talk about like, just carrying on, like, we had the bags, like we did the ceiling bags and did that whole thing, and it was fine. Like it worked. It definitely saved us room, and it was something that we'll do again.
Where do you stand on travel cubes?
I think in my brain they take up more space than they save.
That is exactly how I feel.
I don't understand them.
This is again maybe a theory that I need to actually test.
Yeah.
But like it seems like it creates little nooks and crannies that you're then not using.
Here's the thing. I'm a really good folder.
Yeah.
So like I don't even have a need for this.
Yeah.
Like the way that I fold things and the way that I will roll things and everything.
You do the roll, right?
I do the roll. I do the fold. It just depends on the thing. But the way that I maneuver everything is so like custom to whatever's in front of me, that I don't think cubes would help me at all. I think it would actually be a nuisance to have to deal with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it would be nice. Okay. Counterpoint. And I don't think most guys would have a use case for this as much as girls do, but like if you had an outfit, if you had outfits planned for every single thing, having those separated out into different things would actually be kind of nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. And I do kind of like the idea of like having like underwear and socks in a packing cube so you can just like rip that out of your bag.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll mess with it.
I've started taking all my dirty clothes after wearing them and rolling them as tight as humanly possible. And then I will put them in like a corner of the closet of where we're staying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just so it's all right there.
Yeah.
When I get home, I can just go into my suitcase, grab all the rolled stuff, throw it in, done. And it's like, that has saved me a ton of time.
I like to grab the little laundry bag out of the closet, the little plastic laundry bag, and then I just stash all the dirty clothes in there. But same idea, corner of the closet. That's where all the,
Yeah. Oh yeah, it has to be.
It's where it all goes.
You can only pack one pair of shoes. What are you choosing? This is the hardest question on here.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that they're the shoes that I'm wearing today. It's the white pair with the gum sole of Margiela Gats. They're really comfortable. They can dress up or down. They could, yeah. I don't really have many other reasons than that, but
I have zero sneakers I can dress up.
I lean towards sneakers because that's what I like to be in mostly. So that's what I think I would go with.
I don't have any sneakers I can dress up at all. So it's like impossible for me to even think about doing that. And I like the shoes that always come on vacation with me are my Belgian loafers because they're nice shoes and I don't get to wear them that often. So if I'm going to a nice dinner, if I'm going out, I'd like to wear them. But I can't have those be my only shoes. That's pointless. And so I'm going to go with, I think I'm just going to go with my Sabas. I can wear them to the pool. I can wear them to a dinner and dress them up enough. I don't feel bad tearing them apart because you have to get them resold anyway how often.
Have you ever worn socks with your Sabas?
No, never once. Mine don't smell. Mine don't smell that bad. But I'd never worn socks with them. It's not something I want to do. Actually, that's a lie. I have in like a very cold situation one time. I did Sabas and socks, but this was like midwinter cozy vibes going crazy. I've never done this outside of like Sally and I going to go get coffee, and I was just like, I'm wearing Sabas and socks.
Yeah.
But those shoes for me, they cover enough that I could just bring those on vacation and know that I'll be fine. I'm not going to be psyched in certain situations, and my feet might hurt at the end of the day, but they're going to be good.
I gotta throw in one more thing here because it's something that I think I've fully come around on, and I think I might do a little cop before the trip. I might be grabbing a pair of fisherman sandals.
Let's go. Let's go.
They're super versatile.
They are.
They're very, very versatile.
They really are.
That could be your one shoe.
It could be.
It honestly could be.
It could be.
So
it could easily be your one shoe.
That's
a good idea.
I'm just putting that out there.
Final question: which fragrance do you think of when you hear the word vacation?
Oh yeah, easy answer for this. It's Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford.
Really?
It smells like there's something about it that evokes this memory of like one of the first times that I went to Cabo and like walked into this resort, and it just smelled like fresh but citrusy but new but like a little bit salty. Like it's like one of the best smells ever.
Yeah.
And Neroli Portofino reminds me of that.
Yeah.
And so that's the one.
Mine is something that I used to smell at my old job all the time. We carried Acqua di Parma. They have a line of Mediterranean inspired scents, and they have one that is a bergamot, like a lime. And I just remember it'd be like the middle of winter, like I'd be bored at work, have nothing to do. I'd just walk over and like start smelling like the testers and stuff. And that one for me just always put me somewhere. Like it always just made me feel really good. I'd never been to Italy at that point. And so like I didn't know, but just reading the description of it about like just these fresh limes, whatever, it just made me start thinking about it. And I just love that scent.
I think bergamot is key to smelling like vacation.
Yeah.
I bet if you ask 100 people this question and compared all their answers, I bet that is like a really common ingredient and stuff that makes people smell a vacation.
I was telling Randy the other day, Randy's like, yeah, you talk about it all the time. Well, shut up. Like, yeah, respect. Respect, Randy.
It's true.
Oh, I did purchase. I meant to talk about this. I purchased a suit for Italy.
Okay.
And I'll be doing a review of it.
Yeah. I think
we had talked about it previously, right?
Yes, you were looking for, I think you still wanted green, but I put you on to a brown and a blue one from Todd Snyder.
Yes, I did not go with the brown just because I thought, okay, so I bought this suit for numerous reasons. One, I want a new suit because I've been wearing the same 2 suits for a long time. 2, because I already own a blue suit, but this is a blue suit that was fitted to me for a wedding years ago. I'd have to get it retailored in order for it to look good or whatever. And so if I was going to replace one color suit in my collection, it shouldn't be green. It should probably be blue. And so I went with that. The price was relatively right for this, and they had my sizes. So I thought to myself, well, I'm going to take a flyer here. I'm going to try out this Todd Snyder seersucker suit. Let's see how it goes. It's out for delivery today. I will be trying it on, and I will report back next week with my full review. I know it's going to be good quality. I know I'm going to be happy with it. It's all about the fit at this point. And so we'll see. I don't want to spend a bunch of money to get something like tailored through the moon and just deal with that. But if it doesn't work, I'm just going to go with the stable. I'm just going to see what I have in the closet and make it work and just enjoy, because I don't need it. But it would be great to have a nice light seersucker suit that does not have like the blue and white striped seersucker, just for weddings in Austin, honestly.
Yeah.
That I don't really know anyone getting married anymore. You were the last domino for me.
Yeah. I can say this suit right here was a Todd Snyder Sutton, and I quite like the fit. And I'm pretty sure that the only thing I had to have done was to get the pants hemmed.
Yeah. Yeah,
I may have had the sleeves shortened a little bit as well. You know,
I have pretty good experience with jackets. It's my concern is I just don't have the right size. So we'll find out. We'll find out.
Okay,
pray for me.
Looking forward to the review. Yes,
pray for
me. Indeed.
Let's talk about the meal of the summer. I started seeing this pop up. It's an order that I've seen before. But I did a meme recently from the Instagram account Sunday.Scaries. And in this meme, I included a photo of Martha Stewart, who seemed to be herding some geese. And I made each of the geese a martini, a Caesar salad, and some fries. And this is the most viral post that I have seen on Sunday Scaries in years.
Okay.
It is still just carrying steam. Every notification is for this post. Okay. Martha Stewart herself liked it. And that for me just took the kind of small notes that I saw of the Caesar salad, fries, and martini popping up. It just took it and solidified it as just being a straight up thing at this point. Have you been seeing this anywhere?
It sounds familiar. And not to gas myself up, but on an In-N-Out list at least 3 ago, one of my ins was just like ordering fries with everything. Yeah. Just like always getting a side of fries, kind of no matter what you order. Mm-hmm. And so I definitely relate to the vibe here, because like I love the idea of, and I feel like people do this often. That's why it's relatable. Is they're like, okay, I'm gonna get the grain bowl, the salad, the lighter dish, whatever it might be, but also do a side order.
You want to feel healthy, but you also want to order something that you want.
Yes,
like that's how I look at it. I will absolutely eat this meal, no questions asked, and I'll be pretty happy about it. And on a hot summer day, a crisp Caesar salad sounds delightful. A side of fries sounds like a great thing to crunch on, and a martini sounds nice too. Like, I get why this is a very popular order.
Yes.
There's also who is it?
Is this your post?
That's the one. Yeah. How many likes does it have? 192,000.
Wow.
I mean, that's insane.
Can I ask you a quick aside?
Yeah.
Because I don't know where else somebody would ask you this, and so just a little treat for retail therapy listeners that also follow your Sunday Scaries Instagram. Any big plans when you hit a milli? Feels like it's going to happen. Like it's going to happen this year.
No, it's not going to happen this year.
No,
not going to happen this year.
I mean, I looked down, and suddenly you were at 750 or 780. The last time I had checked, I think it was like 560.
No. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be this year. I don't think it's going to be this year.
Okay.
If I had to guess, I would say Q2, early Q2, 20. I don't really look at the followers as I used to look at it all the time. I don't really look at it as much because it's pretty steady, and I don't really. This sounds weird. It doesn't really excite me to look at the number anymore. Okay. Like I get more excited about putting stuff out than I do looking at how it does. So But I just don't get the feeling it's going to happen. I've already gone on record. I don't care about 800. I don't care about 900. Because Sally was like, we should do this at 800. And I was like, I'm not doing anything. Like, I don't care about that. A million's different. I think for $1 million, I might just like, I don't know. I might just have a party.
What? Yeah, you should. What percentage of you wants to hit $1 million versus doesn't want to hit $1 million? Because there is something, there's kind of like, I know that sometimes brands are out there and like on their wish list for who they want to work with, it's accounts under $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Right? Like
I get that.
Like there's a little bit more of a, yeah.
I don't really care.
Okay.
Like it's never.
There's no question that it's a huge achievement. I'm not saying it's.
All I've really wanted to do with Sunday Scaries from an Instagram perspective is I have simply wanted to create an invested following. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't like if that's 500,000 people who are insanely invested, that is awesome. That is so much better than having 10 million people who don't really care.
Right.
And so it doesn't really matter to me as long as like people are engaged and people are enjoying it. And based on the interactions that I see, I think people are. And so like, it's not like it's not like some crazy like initiative. I'm not tracking the numbers. The system that I use to track the numbers is going away next month. So it doesn't even matter anymore. I'm actually very excited for it to go away because it'll stop me from like looking at that stuff.
Okay. Back to our meal.
Yes.
Thank you for answering the question. Does this make you think of any spot in Austin?
The closest thing I would come to think about this would be Clark's.
Yeah, that's what it makes me
And they have the worst. They have the worst fries for this.
Yeah, so I personally like the shoestring
I do too.
fries
I just
at
said that because
Clark's.
I know everyone hates them.
But and to your point, it's not. They're not the ideal. They go awesome with the burger to me, but I hear you that they're not the ideal side of fries.
Yeah, but as far as like having the big mound of it goes, they have really good like salads and fresh stuff. I'm thinking of like their crab Louis. Have you ever gotten that there? Like it's just I don't know. It would fit well in this. There is Bill's Oyster. Does
yeah they have awesome fries.
I think on Sundays, as long as you have a bottle of champagne on your table, you get unlimited French fries, so you can just keep it running. Which is kind of a great. I kind of love the idea of if you're drinking champagne, you can have as many French fries as you want.
Yeah,
like that's a great deal for a restaurant. Bottle of champagne is going to cost you a lot more than a side of fries.
That is true.
I might do this weekend. I might just do this at home.
Are you going to make a Caesar salad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'd rather get one from Favorite Pizza.
Yeah, that's the Caesar salad play for sure.
You got to find the little gem, you know?
Yeah.
The little gem lettuce is essential at this point.
And then, you know what? What the hell? I'm just keeping it in the MML family because I have no choice but to stand as much as it pains me sometimes. Fries from June's. That's what we'll round this out. Martini from Clark's, fries from June's, Caesar from Favorite.
Caesar from Favorite, for sure. Oh, I'm going wild. I'm going fries from P. Terry's. I'm going fast food, greasy fries. I want them as greasy as possible and as salty as possible.
Now, those are fries that I don't really care for.
Oh, see, I love them. I love those floppy, greasy little bastards.
All right, and Martini, you got a different one? You gonna go? What's the spot that I always forget the name of? Starts with a B.
Bartlett's.
Bartlett's.
You know, I'm thinking about going Bartlett's. I'm trying to think. So, hand up, I have not been drinking very many martinis lately.
I have not either.
I've been shying away from the high ABV stuff in favor of low ABV stuff. I've really been loving Pinot Noirs lately. I just haven't been drinking that much. That's one fact about my summer. I have not been drinking very much this summer.
Okay, all right.
The drink of the summer is not looming on me like it has been in summers past.
I have been drinking.
My drink of the summer right now is it's an Americano though. Yeah. That's all. Like if I'm drinking, I'm having just sweet vermouth, Campari on ice with a splash of something.
I mean, honestly, like I've been in my seltzer era. It's been kind of feral.
Really?
Yeah, I drank 5 grapefruit White Claws last Saturday.
I love that. But if you're gonna drink one White Claw, you might as well have 5. Like you don't stop at one White Claw. Like I've always, I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's called White Claw. Maybe it's because it's in a hard seltzer can. But like, I just love the idea of like going home after like a long day at work, sitting down on the couch, cracking one single White Claw, having that and going to bed. Like, no, I only drink them when I'm having 7.
Yeah. I do not want a White Claw as my like cooking dinner cocktail or drink, you know, just to like wind down after a long day.
You can put it over ice and put like a lime in it.
But it is, look, there's nothing better at the pool than like, White Claw is the best full on seltzer. But high noon, take whatever you want to like. Those are just the best. Those are the best day drinking.
They are
things out right now.
Big fan of nooners.
Yeah. So that's that.
Did I say where I was getting my salad from?
Favorite.
Oh yeah, duh. Sorry, that's an overlook.
Yeah.
Let's talk Elordi. Should we talk mezcal too?
Paul Mezcal, yeah, and I threw a little Austin Butler in here too. I don't know if he's on the list. I don't know if he gets a gong, but give him an honorary gong.
Austin
Randy.
Butler actually
Give him a little gong.
Once people forget about the voice thing and they just accept his new voice, I think he could be Baby Girl.
Yeah, there's some old rumors out there that float around about him that I think make him a little bit less like universally loved.
Okay, I'm not well researched on him.
It's nothing terrible. It's basically like when he was dating Vanessa Hudgens, he was a total mooch and let her pay for everything. And basically it was just like...
Okay. Now he's dating Kai Gerber?
Yeah.
I had an in-law...
Who, let's not forget, because I forgot until I was pulling up both Elordi and Butler, but she dated Elordi first. Then now is with Austin Butler.
Wow. Good for her.
Yeah.
I mean... Yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
So what do we say, committee? Am I putting Austin Butler on the list or not?
We need to think about it.
Yeah, it requires a little bit more thought than that.
Think about it. He's on the short list. He's on the short list.
We're not just going to do that live on the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on.
I will say my in-laws were on a flight with Austin Butler and Kaya Gerber.
Okay.
A commercial flight out of Austin.
Sick.
And they were like, yeah, they're clearly famous and hot. Like, you don't even have to, you don't have to know who they are. It's just like, who are these famous and hot people right in front of us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's getting put on the watch list.
Yeah,
right
watch list.
With,
You can
watch
watch list him. You can watch list him.
Right with Andrew Scott.
All right.
Andrew Scott he's solidified in my brain at this point.
Move him up. Do it. Yeah.
Okay.
He's just not in the news cycle enough to talk about all the time. But
he totally qualifies.
everyone loves him.
All right.
Everyone loves him.
Andrew Scott's getting the bump.
Can we hear about Benny Drama's thoughts on one Jacob Elordi?
Alerted me during that time, and I just saw it a few times, and I kept seeing guys, and I thought he's dressed like Jacob Elordi, and then it was the Spider-Man meme where my other arm crosses under the other one. I go, he's dressed like Jacob Elordi. All these bibs is his sons, and I'm gonna go and get some bibs for him. It's actually unbelievable. He has Jacob Elordi. I know you're listening. You have sons in Dime Square and throughout the East Village, me love. You are the reference, baby. 360.
He's the one right now.
Yeah.
He's the one.
Okay. Quick rebuttal. I'm not saying that he's not. The last point there that he's the reference, baby 360, Brad Summer. I agree with that. He's definitely he's got the Shia thing going right now where he is the reference point, right? Like that. So, but I gotta say, I feel like this is a chicken or egg situation. I think he dresses like a Dime Square Nolita dirtbag kid.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the other way around. I don't think that
he almost solidifies things.
This is a circular thing, is what I'm saying. Yes.
Yeah.
But the Pally Hollywood hats and the short shorts and cool sneakers and the bags and boxy tees, I don't know if he was the first to do that, but he definitely fits in with the Dime Square set. Right?
It's a circle of life. Circle of fits.
Yeah. So we certainly owe some things to him.
Who's your reference right now?
I mean, the two guys that we're talking about, I definitely like the way they dress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Mezcal has been having a very casual summer. So I have been getting served Paul Mezcal content like crazy on Twitter because I'm clearly in an algorithm that serves me accounts that stan Paul Mezcal.
Right.
Twitter has identified me as a potential stan, and so I'm seeing every single. Anything he wears, I am seeing if it's been photographed at this point.
Yeah.
And I have to say that I think that my buying habits have started to skew very much in the ways that he has started to dress and the way that he does dress.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, 38.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely both Mezcal, Butler, Elordi, all nailing casual style these days. and just kind of sportswear in general. As I'm gearing up for this Europe trip, this Spain trip, I'm definitely finding myself like hitting a little bit more of like that like kind of breezy elegance. I am debuting. I am testing out. I am wear testing little Gap linen number that I mentioned on the last on the last podcast. Oh yeah, we owe you a listener digest. We will get that out.
Yes, we do.
And I will link to my Gap linen finds. But so far so good. But like definitely, you know, I'm still mourning the loss of those Buck Mason shorts that I was not able to cop. But that's kind of and I already talked about the fisherman sandals. Like that's kind of the mood I'm feeling recently. Like, let me get a little bit, you know, this is very young. This is all very young.
Yes.
And one of the things that I sometimes joke about with Laura is like the cool boxy tee, shorts and sneakers, and maybe like a hat that I think is fucking sick. That's for the bros. That's for the fellas.
Yeah.
That is not what she is like. You look amazing in that.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
Like you have to dress it up. You have to get a little bit more grown man, I think, to if you're like, you know, impressing the lady in your life.
I'm so ingrained in dad culture at this point.
Yeah.
You know, having my first spring with 2 boys, like summer, 2 boys, I've just found myself embracing just white dad summer so much. It's just like I'm wearing like just like athleisure stuff around the house constantly. I'm like the gym shorts that I was talking about, like wearing the cadet shorts, wearing just quarter zips in the air conditioning. Like I just feel, I look at myself in the mirror sometimes and I'm like, well, it looks like you're about to go change into different clothes to play like a racket sport at the country club. Like you need to change out of this. You're too generic right now. It's driving me nuts. But I also I'm not shopping as much. So I'm like, it's just all over the map. I don't know what to do with myself.
I was walking down South Congress the other day and I popped out of a shop and this like older gentleman, you know, like 50, probably 55 was walking by me. And he just had a great blue and white striped linen shirt. And I was just like, I just stopped him. I was like, love that linen shirt. And
how'd it go?
It went great. I think he was absolutely pumped for the compliment. And I was like, I asked him, he was like, where's it from? He's like, I don't know. Here, look. And it was like, one of those brands called
Margaritaville?
No, but I mean, it was like called like Lino Club or something. It was the type of brand that you would have found at like, not like Men's Warehouse, but like the kind of random haberdashery in your hometown that sells like suits or whatever.
Yeah.
And they just carry these random brands that
Shout out to the Clothes Post.
Yeah, that are not like real brands. I don't know what they are. But they have names like Lino Club.
Yeah, like and they all have like very nice tags where you're like, that's a nice tag for a company that I've never heard of before.
Yes. And so it was one of those. But that type of like a little bit of that is like kind of coming back, I feel like.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, whether it's like the braided belts or the Riza loafers, and you know, pleats are still everywhere.
Dude, we were talking braided belts in the office earlier. I was talking about how I acquired one earlier this summer and I love it. Yeah. Part of the reason I love it is because you don't have to worry about belt holes. Yeah. If you gain a few pounds, you don't have to worry about going up a hole and feeling bad about yourself. You just stick that thing in and call it a day. It's great. Just keeps you from self-doubting too much.
So segue into our adjacent topic here. But speaking of Austin Butler and Kaya Gerber, they were photographed leaving a Broadway show, and so I have their photos pulled up here on the Daily Mail. And it's important to reiterate that like the reading not going anywhere. Just you know, still hot. If you're not reading books, you know, stop waiting around. That's what's happening. Kaya Gerber's T-shirt says, "Come to my house. I have great books." Graphic tee that she's wearing.
Books are hot.
Books are hot.
Books are hot.
You know.
But Esquire pointed out, Barrett, not enough sad boy lit.
Not enough sad boy lit though. That's the rub.
It says, "Where are all the sad young men in literature? The male equivalent of My Year of Rest and Relaxation's droll narrator. Of course, the pop-up comes up the second I start reading. The modern day Holden Caulfields. As far as the internet is largely concerned, there aren't any, or at least very few of them receive the same hype as books by and about women. Perhaps it's because there's a certain stigma surrounding male vulnerability, but in contemporary fiction, the subject is wildly overlooked. The one book that they reference that they said has nailed it in recent years is Paul Mescal, his performance in Normal People. And
as Connell,
I think it is very correct in this, that that does seem to be the most recent popular one where you actually are pained for this guy, as opposed to being like in some of her other novels, it's very much more female driven. Whereas Normal People, you identify so much with him throughout it that it's like, it's impossible to not look at him as the main.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would love some more sad boy lit. If any listeners out there have any sad boy lit, recommendations, I'm all ears. Intermezzo by Sally Rooney does not come out until September. And so I'm looking for a new book right now.
Yeah. The author, Katie Tobin here, I feel like she's done her due diligence to try to find some of this stuff. But and there's a quote in here from somebody that's basically like, it's wild that there's not a UK or British or American author in between the age of like 25 and 35, like a male author writing some of this type of stuff.
Should I dip in?
And I mean, yeah.
Let me in.
What about you? Maybe you just need to like start adding a little bit more sad boy to your writing.
I'm gonna regret saying what I'm about to say, but I've been working with an idea in my head for over a year now, and I've set up a weekly reminder to myself of just one word reminder on my phone, so it pops up every week, and I rethink about it. I've officially purchased a whiteboard because I would like to actually script out the actual timeline of what I want to do in order to like write this serialized thing. How I will release that, I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But I've thought about it so much over the last year that I finally have taken the dive, and the concept itself really could not be more sad boy lit than it is. Like it's part of the reason I haven't done it is because I'm not sure I want to open it up yet.
No, I'm going to annoy you to do it now. You just open up a worm.
Oh no, the more you annoy me to do it, the less I'll do it.
Do you think,
talk to my wife?
Do you think that maybe there's just like not that many sad boys because they're all just like getting together and having like 8 grown men dinners where they're just like
all the sad
feeding
boys
off of the other high level perperforors?
All the sad boys are just douchebags that are just taking things way too far on the business spectrum. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel are young guys these days creative in ways that don't have to do with making social media content?
Right. Good question.
Like it's depressing to say, and I'm allowed to ask this question because a lot of my creativity flows through social media at this point. But like in high school when we didn't have social media, my friends and I still had pretty creative like tendencies every once in a while. And I wonder like what the current generation, if they are like doing those. There's obviously a rise in people taking up hobbies after COVID, whether it's pottery, whether it's pickleball, run club, stuff like that. But like I wonder if the young generation, like so many of them want to be influencers. I wonder like what the most popular creative hobbies are. Like I liked writing when I was in high school. I liked doing those kind of things, but
I think Randy's about to pop in with some
I would say
Dungeons
even
and Dragons talk.
Well, I'll just say even if you are a creative that isn't social media, it has become so like necessary now. Like if you're a painter, you need to put your stuff on social media.
You need a
so
platform.
Even if that you're not trying to be like an influencer or stuff, it's like almost like even if you're a musician, you're as part of it, you need to do social media just because
I look at those differently. I do look at those differently. If I look at a painter posting their stuff and whatever, building their following, I look at that much differently than I look at like if I saw a 19-year-old kid doing bits and whatever. Or a maxim.
I'm joking about the 8 men at dinner or whatever, but there are a lot of articles written about like the kind of like the the problems with young men right now, right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like that men are sad or lonely or finding love less or like all these different things. Basically,
everyone seems more more isolated,
and they're mostly written from like a very like kind of like dark space, almost kind of talking about like the incelification of young men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that could be why maybe that is related to why there are not young authors writing like kind of like normal sad boy lit.
I feel like all the popular young authors are like fantasy authors and stuff like that. Like they're like writing stuff that's not your traditional fiction that is, I don't know, driven from like personal experience and stuff. I don't know. Can we do a quick store review?
Yeah, please tell us.
This is something I think we need to do more of if we go into cool stores that we recognize. Before we went on our Chicago trip last month, I asked some listeners for some recommendations for stores in Chicago. And while I did not go to many stores at all, I did go to one store that I think is worth calling out, and it was Notre. This was in the West Loop. Part of the reason we went there is because when I looked it up online, it looked like one of the coolest spaces, and so I wanted to see it.
It is a very cool space.
It's a really cool space.
I've not been to their new space, but it looks great.
It's an awesome new space, and it was really close to Au Cheval where we're having lunch, and so I wanted to make sure. I just seemed really easy. The space itself is cool enough that like you can walk in and just like look around and be blown away by it, and but it doesn't really end there. Like they do have really good brands, and that was another selling point for me when I went on their website and saw like in the A's alone, it goes Acne, Adidas, Aesop, Birkenstock, Bodhi, Diptyque, like just random brands that I'm like, oh yeah, I'd love to go to a store and see what's going on. The only complaint that I had was I thought they were kind of slim on some of the things that they could have had, like in terms of the brands that they had. Like I wish they would have had more of certain things, but I also think that it's a popular store, so like it is what it is.
It's so even their website is kind of interesting with how slim, with how kind of shallow.
Well, they didn't just have like the mainstay stuff. They had the stuff that you wouldn't necessarily like see on every website at this point.
Right.
They had the Nicole McLaughlin collaboration with Hoka.
Yeah.
Hoka, right?
Hoka, yeah.
And I thought I hadn't seen that in person, so I was like kind of pumped to see like the attachment to the shoe and all that kind of stuff. That was cool. One of the coolest parts of it is, and I didn't really even realize they had this, is that in the back of the store they have a full vintage room. They just have a bunch of vintage tees and jackets and stuff like that to go look at too. And that was almost like a nice palate cleanser after looking at a bunch of like designer clothes, to go and see like a bunch of clothes that were still really cool, but not statement purchases.
Is there any coffee shop, bar, beer element to the store?
No.
Okay.
We were there at 11 in the morning. Like they had just opened. We were waiting. And so we also had a kind of a weird experience because they called us for our table and you have 10 minutes to get to the restaurant. So I had to sprint out of there and go to the restaurant. And then we ended up returning back and doing a little shopping.
Okay.
I didn't end up buying anything. I easily could have bought stuff, but I wasn't in buying mode at that point. And I was encouraging my wife to get a pair of sneakers that she wanted, but she ended up not doing it either. But she was intimidated by the sales staff just because like they're a good looking, well-dressed crew.
Yeah.
The second she talked to him and asked him, she was like, should I go ask him a question? Like, yes, go ask them. That's why they're here. The second she asked him a question, it was like she was like best friends with the person helping her. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, that concern is gone. But it's a great store in Chicago. They've done if you look them up, you'll be kind of amazed by some of the stuff they've done in the past. They're not just some small shop.
No.
I mean, they do a lot. So
Dunk collaboration, Vans collaboration, They
hosted a Kendrick party at one point. I think that was them at least. It could have been just something different.
A Kendrick Scott party?
No, Kendrick. Oh. Kendrick.
Yeah,
they did a Kendrick Scott. What are those called? Trunk show.
A trunk show?
Yeah, they did a nice little trunk show with Kendra. Sick. There's too many articles of interest, Barrett.
Yeah, what do you think? Are we saving these, or do you want to pick a couple?
I think we pick a couple.
Okay. All right.
I want to talk online ceramics real quick.
Yeah.
They're parting ways. This doesn't shock me, I guess. I don't know. So Online Ceramics is a company that does a lot of collaborations with a lot of different random things. I mean, they started off doing a lot of Grateful Dead stuff. They've now moved to movies, to
a lot of A24 merch.
Yeah, jazz artists, they have random stuff. But they put out I do feel like at this point, you can look at a shirt and say, that's Online Ceramics.
Oh, for sure.
It's easy.
Yeah.
You don't see as much of it at Dead shows as I thought you would.
Okay.
That being said, I still think their Dead stuff is really cool. You can still get some on their website. I did buy the book. I like Online Ceramics. I like that their interests are so aligned enough with my interests that I thought having the coffee table book long term was going to be a good choice. So when I saw that they did a book after their parting of ways, I decided to actually purchase that book. And so that was something that I did. It doesn't really bum me out.
So I didn't get a chance to read the full column that Samuel Hine put up on GQ, but I did kind of breeze through it, and there's some interesting stuff too, right? Which is the Elijah Funk, who's staying with the brand, who's continuing on with Online Ceramics, says that he wants to make it more of a brand.
Yeah.
So for their 10 years, they have been super committed to just t-shirts and hats and bags and totes and like very, 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 very merch oriented. They were referenced a bunch in the Merch is Dead column, and they're certainly like a big presence in that entire field. And so he even mentions how he like wants to make the t-shirts a little bit nicer and wants to expand into more like a more fleshed out like kind of line. He mentions sneakers potentially. So I think that's really cool. Like there are only so many A24 movie tie-dye t-shirts that one needs. And so for them to start branching out into like
makes sense
to some other stuff could be really interesting because they're obviously super creative dude, or he is a super creative guy. And then Alex Ross, the other co-founder is going to go off and do some of his own stuff. So sometimes it's time for the band to split up and do a couple solo projects. And,
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
They were getting more complaints in the last drop that I saw about shipping, about sizing, about quality, about consistency. I saw more complaints than I've ever seen.
Interesting.
I wonder, part of me wonders if there's anything going on like that just got annoying for anybody. That could wear on people. But like I will say, as far as companies go, I think that they had a major vibe shift, for lack of a better word.
That's right.
Like I think they shifted the vibe in a direction that stuck for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's a cool brand.
Now it's time to shift the vibe again.
Are you ready for Amélie and Paris? A lot of promotion for this going out right now. A lot.
Of course I'm ready.
I need to rewatch the last season.
I'm so ready that I watched the what's his name? David Chang, the Dave Chang show on Netflix where he cooks with a couple of people. He cooks for them. I watched the one with the two leads from Emily in Paris. God, names are slipping my mind right now.
I'm not coming up with them.
Her and her best friend.
Yeah.
Ashley Park and Lily Collins.
Oh
Lily
my
Collins.
God, yeah.
Did you know that she's Phil Collins' daughter?
No?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Like direct?
Yes.
Like blood, everything?
Yes. You don't get work in that town without being a Nepo baby.
No,
That's just
you
the
don't.
truth, man.
No, you don't.
You know?
No, you don't. I don't think she knew that this show was going to become what it did.
God love him.
Do you think she did? There's no way that they got done taping season 1 and they were like, we're going to be the most popular show and we drop every time. Like, I refuse to believe it.
Yeah. It's a great show.
Yeah.
You mentioned rewatching. Do you know what? So we just stopped watching Younger at some point, like in the middle of season 6 or 7, for a very funny reason, which I won't get into. But we were trying to find where we were. We were like going through the episode list and like picking some episodes and playing, and like just didn't remember anything.
Mm-hmm.
Might start Younger over.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, if there's one season you can skip, it is that last season.
Is it?
Like, there were a lot of series that I think you could look at and be like, man, COVID ravaged this series. Nothing got ravaged harder than that. Like, there was part of me that was like, did they find another TV show filming and then they set up next to it so they could use the backdrop? And like, there were some just low budget, crazy moves in the final season.
Yeah. Daniel Craig broke the internet with his Loewe
We
campaign.
could have gone down to wish list items, and I would have forgot that this was on here. I'm glad you did this.
No, I did. I wanted to hit this one because this was awesome. I mean, this is just a great photo shoot. Daniel Craig is a real one for this.
He seems fun.
He does.
He seems down to zag when others are zigging.
And married to Rachel Weisz, who's also great. So
he just like, I mean, he could have just retired after being James Bond and not done anything. And instead, mid James Bond movies, he's doing the, Glass Onion and stuff, just being like a totally different character. I think he likes being a little
kooky.
Yeah, just a little, like, I think he likes surprising people. Yeah. I also think that when you play James Bond, you're kind of typecasted as this like man's man. And you forget that the people that play James Bond are deep down actors at first and foremost, and they probably have much more like creative passions than being the most dashing person there.
Sure.
And so seeing Daniel Craig in something like this is just great to me. Yeah. I just love it.
Yeah. We've done the nail polish for guys and everything. Question after this little photo shoot is like, are guys doing pink lipstick this fall with their chunky knit sweaters, right?
I don't know. We got JD Vance doing eyeliner all the time, it seems. So did you see Derek Guy put out a tweet that said, if you're a makeup artist for a politician, I'd want to talk to you. I'm not kidding. I need him to get an interview with some politician's makeup artist, preferably Matt Gates's.
Wish list.
you want me to start?
Sure.
I don't know. I'm just in my shoes. I've been looking at these shoes. I've had them saved.
This is a new colorway.
I know.
You've already put these on your wish list in a different colorway.
I know.
Do you know that? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And I'm going to this one.
Okay.
I'm switching over to this one.
These are sick. I love this color. I love a gray sneaker.
Yes.
Everybody knows that about me.
Yes. I'm switching over and I'm doing these. They're on my wish list. I truly don't have anything outside of some shoes that I want right now. But the reason I'm looking at these, and I think I said it the last time, was because I am looking to replace my Adidas fucking awesome collaboration. It just sounds weird to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's an Adidas collaboration with fucking awesome. It's not a fucking
You have to replace
awesome.
them because you shredded them too hard.
They just don't look that great. And but I love them. They just look gross. And so I just really would like to replace them with something similar because I liked them so much. And this is the closest thing that I have. And I think it's an upgrade for me. And I like it.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm just going to reiterate something that's already been on the wish list.
Okay. All right.
Or not really. I'm deviating from what it was.
Yeah. So I'm not. After I blew up my spot on the Buck Mason shorts, I'm still reeling from that, as mentioned, and so I'm not going to put the fisherman sandals that I'm thinking about right now.
Good
just
call.
out of an abundance of caution. If I cop, I will of course report back on the pod and let you know what they are and what I think of them. But I'm going boring this week because I need a new mattress. It's about time for a new mattress. To be clear, what it's time for is to replace the mattress in our guest room. But that I don't want to replace that. Like the obvious move here is to upgrade ours.
Yeah.
And move ours to the being, the guest room gets the B mattress.
Yeah.
We should get the A mattress.
Oh yeah.
So
you could be one. I know a couple who one of them likes the guest room mattress because that was their original mattress and they did this. And so they're like jealous anytime we visited, being like, I'm so jealous you get to go sleep on that mattress. That thing's the best.
Well, so the mattress that I have pulled up here is pretty much the exact same one that I got 7 years ago. Can you get Lisa was the very first sponsor on Oysters, Clams, and Cockles.
Oh yeah, it was an absolute arms race.
That was back in the heyday where people were just throwing mattresses at you if you had a podcast.
We talked about it on Circling Back this week.
Really?
I sold a mat. At one point I had 2 mattress sponsors, and I was like, well, I need to sell one of these. And so like one of them came in, never even unboxed it, kept it in the corner of my place until someone bought it, and I sold it for almost retail.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "Why are you selling this?" And I was like, I have a podcast. We have two mattress sponsors.
So yeah, I would be lying if I I don't think mattresses are doing the pod ads anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is a mattress company out there listening and you want to hit us up, I'm willing to be swayed away from doubling up on the Lisa Sapira hybrid.
What's Barrett Dudley's preferred firmness?
So, okay. I medium, basically. Like medium firm.
Yeah.
Like I like softness and cushion. Who doesn't? But I also need a little bit of structure.
Ours is so unforgiving. It is such a hard mattress. Sally loves it. I'm okay with it. We had a Lisa Sapira. I loved it.
Yeah.
And she wanted to upgrade. We didn't even upgrade. It was like a quarter of the price. We got one of the cheapest mattresses you can get on Amazon, and it's just because it's like her favorite mattress in the world.
Okay.
And she's much more of a sleeper. She's more particular about sleep than I am, so I just roll with it.
So, okay. Do you typically enjoy the mattresses when you stay at a good hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Those are not memory foam Casper or Lisa mattresses. They almost all have springs.
Yeah.
That's why I like this hybrid, because the base of it is springs, and then like the top half is like memory foam. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. But I don't want a fully memory foam mattress.
No.
Like I like having a little bit
Ours
of that.
is like fully memory foam, and
you get the super firm stuff with it.
I can't throw my child onto the bed because I'm worried it's just gonna like hit him like pavement. And that's not something I like.
Yeah.
I want to be able to throw him on the bed.
So this is God, these got so expensive mattresses. I don't know when I'm gonna bite this bullet, but it's something that it's time for. So I'm literally putting it on my wish list. I wish that somebody would buy this for me. Yeah.
Maybe the mattress fairy will buy it for you.
Yeah.
It's possible. Well, that's all she wrote today. Pretty happy with this. We'll be back next week.
Feel okay with a little long episode. We missed a week.
Oh yeah. I feel good about it. I feel good. I didn't know if we were going to go 45 minutes today or 84 minutes. All right, let's get out of here.
Bye-bye.